correct. It's working now. Okay. Okay, I shared it first on my Discord. Nice. Let me go to Twitter. Shared it there too. Okay. And okay. My Twitter ain't showing anything. Like, why? It's weird.
Weird.
Oh, it's in the replies. Okay. No, it's not in the replies. Why? Okay. I did a post on Twitter, but it's not. Okay, let me repost. Modern technique. It's internet and all those stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try now. It says my post was sent, but yeah. Yeah, I sent my post twice, but okay. Hopefully it will work now. I don't know what's happening. Twitter is probably buggy, but I've sent my post twice. Okay.
Yeah.
Jó. Hölgyek, urak, működik egyébként a hang? Is the voice good, everyone? Please let me know on my chat. Lukács, Samu, Mende, sziasztok, DDR. Jó, minden? Normális. Can you guys hear me and our guest, our today's guest, FIRAS, as well?
Hi, everyone.
Can you guys and girls hear him? Is it okay?
Can you hear me?
It's fine. Nice. There is no lag like 2 days ago, right? There is no lag on the stream, so you guys and girls can hear me, can see me. No lag, right? Please let me know. Mennyire laggos? Nagyon laggos? Jó lesz szerintem, az kicsit várni kell. Szerintem. Nagyon laggol? They say that. No, it's fine. Okay. It's fine. Okay. So from phone, it's fine. Okay. It's fine for you, Lilam Lady. So, okay. Mini, nálad működik? Most már jó. Okay, now it's good. Now it's good for everyone. It's not laggy. The voice is good. Okay, super. Okay, so we can start, right, everyone? Okay. Okay, welcome everyone. It's the 5th episode of Dev Life, and I'm joined by an awesome guest today with FIRAS. My good friend. He is the developer and mastermind behind Octopus City Blues, and I'm very honored and very thankful that you accepted my request for this video interview of mine. And yeah, thank you for everything that you accepted to talk with me. And first of all, I would like to start with a joke. Our today's guest did not want to show his face. He wasn't into face reveal because just like his game has a lot of mysteries and secrets, he would also like to be mysterious and having secrets. So yeah, first of all, I would like to have a little introduction from you, if it's okay to you.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction and thank you for having me here.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, my name is Firas, and I am one of the developers of Octopus City Blues. And yeah, I'm not sure what to say. I wasn't going to. I don't really like being in interviews.
Okay.
I don't think I have much to say, but yeah, Remulto was really insistent and he was really passionate about having my opinions, and he had a lot of questions about the game, and I enjoyed watching him play it last week.
Thank
I
you.
think it was last week.
Yeah, something like that.
So I couldn't say no. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
thanks for having me, and thanks for supporting independent game developers like you do.
Thank you. Okay, so first thing first, let's start with a really important question, in my opinion. I think that the start of everything is very important. So for that, I would ask you, what was your first memory of video games? Like, what was your very first video game that you have played? How did you connect to that video game, and how did you start your career from there? That point of your life.
So I remember playing one of the Atari games, like was it called the 2600 or something, like these old
Okay.
games. But I was really young, so I don't remember it that well. But my memories about games were more, I think, when we had a Sega Mega Drive, like the Genesis, and I used to play like Sonic the Hedgehog and all these Sega games.
I see.
So these were my earliest memories, and for a long time, I didn't even speak English, so I didn't really play games with text or with stories. It was more about Contra, Sonic the Hedgehog,
platformer games. Yeah.
platforming, stuff like that.
I see.
Until around I think the mid 90s or the late 90s, where we got like the first time we had a PC, and that's when I started like playing other games, playing adventure games, playing Resident Evil was a big influence,
Nice.
And then later playing games like Fallout or playing games like Day of the Tentacle.
Nice. A classic one, yeah. All classics games, yeah. And
yeah, so yeah.
Sorry for interrupting you, but how have you decided on the road that you would like to be influenced by like point and click games? Because you told a lot of genres there, like FPS games, TPS games, horror genre. But of course, those who played your demo can see that a lot of genres influence your game. But how was the choice to make a point and click game and having those genres be in a point and click game, but not like an FPS or TPS, but being just strictly a point and click game, but having those elements like of the horror game and apocalyptic city and all this stuff? Like, how did you decided that to do that on your road?
Well, originally I wanted to make an RPG, like a Japanese RPG, like Final Fantasy or all these older games I used to play.
I see.
And then I thought, this was in 2012, I think. And I thought, if you want to make an RPG, you have to make like a combat system, you have to make stats, you have to make a lot of complicated things.
I see.
And I didn't really care about the combat. I didn't really care about, the conflict. I wanted to make I really cared about the story and about talking to people and exploring and, exploring a city, for example.
I see.
Because when I play these games, I really like to talk to everyone. You go to all the characters in a city or a town, and you talk to everyone. You explore every place. You find things there. So I thought, okay, if I want to make an RPG, it's too much work. It will take forever. It will take like 10 years or something. Mm-hmm. If I make an adventure game, it will probably be really fast to do it. This was in 2012. I thought that, this game would be easy to make as an adventure game. I was wrong, of course.
But then you realized that it might take even more time, or it could take more time. Yeah.
Actually, I think if you make an RPG, it's a bit easier in the sense that you design the battle system once, you design the combat once, and then you can reuse it over and over. So if you want to add more content, if you want to add a dungeon, for example, you just have some tiles, and then you have the combat system being reused. But an adventure game, at least my game, I have to make like a lot of mini games, a lot of different kind of systems,
which are different, I
and
guess, and that's
and
why
every time I
it's
have, every time I have to design something new. Like there is actually a combat system in one of the mini games, but you only use
nice.
it once. I think you tried it, right? Like there is this encounter in the centipede station where you have these people.
Oh yeah, where you had to like fight two bad guys who
Yeah,
found your friend and wanted to knife him. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and you can actually use like you can use a knife, you can use your fists, you
Yeah,
can
it
use
was a
insults.
turn-based stuff. Yeah, an element. Yeah, exactly.
So this is like used for maybe you played for 5 minutes, but to design this it took a lot of time to
I
just do
see.
the art, to do the, and then I don't really use it again because the next time you have a different kind of game, you have a different kind of.
I
Uh,
see.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it's a lot of work to do uh, something without a clear system, something without a predictable element like a combat system. But to go back to your question, this was my reasoning at the time. I was thinking I like adventure games. I really like exploring. I really like to talk to people.
I see.
What's a genre that has that? The closest genre is the adventure game genre because you have a lot of games where you explore and you talk to people and you care about the story. Um, Also, if you think about Resident Evil, for example, it's actually the old ones were actually adventure games. They had combat, but it's kind of a puzzle game with
Yeah,
adventure and with like
true. You had to
exploring.
find stuff and to solve stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that kind of like loop that you have
I see.
a place that you explore, new people to meet, new things to learn, and I think that's the core of the game that I'm making right now. Yeah.
I see. And what's the idea behind like making puzzles? So how do you decide how hard they should be? Like, what's your opinion about that? Like when you were designing all those puzzles and elements across your game, how have you decided to like what's the approximate difficulty for players to have?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of trial and error. So
Yeah.
the only way to really know is to have people play it. So
Mhm.
what you actually played is very different than what I had last year
Oh, okay.
because since then we had a lot of feedback, a lot of people playing it, a lot of
I see.
people watching. But to answer your question I think in a quick way, I would say every kind of puzzle in Octopus City Blues has at least three ways to solve it. So there is not one way to do it.
Okay.
So if you have to feed the baby, for example, you can
Mhm.
actually do it with burgers. You can do it with other things, and it has different outcomes.
I see.
Um, I try to make them a bit like they shouldn't be too easy. They shouldn't be something that you just do right away. But at the same time, I don't want people to get stuck. I don't like some of the older adventure games. They had this issue where the puzzle didn't make any sense. Like they had this moon logic where you would say you have to get the cat and you have to add the cat to some other item, and then you
Yeah.
have to take this item, and then you have to click on some place that's
Yeah.
very difficult to find. And I think it made sense back then because these games were very short. So the game was, if you know what you're doing, it's probably an old adventure game is like 1-2 hours.
But
But to make it longer,
they become longer because you couldn't figure out the exact solution to all
yeah,
those puzzles. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, and I think maybe you're not in the place. Like I think we talked about this before. Like you don't know how to solve it because you're not there
Mhm.
right now as a player, or maybe it just doesn't make sense. It's just
Yeah.
something that only makes sense, and it happens to me as well. I make something, and it's very clear to me how to solve this thing.
I see.
Then I watch someone play it, and they get stuck, and they don't see the obvious thing that I did put there, and it's not their fault. They just have to make it clear. I have to make always. It's a balance. You don't want to make it. Some games they guide the player too much right now. Like they say, oh, there is this ladder. We have to make it yellow.
Yeah.
We have to put like a sign somewhere that says this is a ladder, or you have to put all these kind of checklists that you have to do this and this in the quest, or you have a map and it says you have to go that place. I think that's a bit too much.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah.
But on the other hand, I don't like to watch someone who gets stuck for 1 hour
I see.
for something that's really obvious. It's just
Yeah. It makes
they missed
perfect.
it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you was talking about like you listened to players' opinions. were there some elements that you did not want to change because of players' feedback? Like you said that, okay, that's fine that they think like that, but I don't want to change that in my game.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You do listen to players' feedback, but then at the end of the day, there are reasons for what you're doing. I
Yeah,
think
true.
um, every element you have to think about it when you add it to the game, and sometimes if you change something, it doesn't make sense to the rest of the story, or doesn't make sense to the gameplay that you want to have, and you'll never make something that everyone likes. Some people will
Yeah,
always
true.
complain about something,
True.
but on the other hand, I don't. I do want as many people as possible to play it, so it's a bit of a balance. But yeah, I mean, some people ask me to add, combat for the game. They want to have an RPG game. I'm not gonna do that, but I see where they're coming
Hopefully
from.
after this interview they they won't let you know this again by hearing
No,
you that.
it's fine to let me know, and I
No, I'm
see
just
why they
joking.
think
I'm just
that.
joking.
I think they look at some similar games. Maybe they look at Undertale, for example, and say,
Yeah,
okay, there's
I
a
see.
game where you
Okay,
have a combat, and my game has the graphics in a similar way to RPGs because of the
I see.
influence. But yeah, it's not something I want to do.
I
Uh,
see.
yeah.
Okay. And okay, for me, I'm always saying that childhood is a very important thing in everyone's life. So, how or how much have you been influenced by your childhood? Because when I was playing your demo, I saw a lot of elements that, for me personally, I think that was influenced by your life and by your childhood. Especially when I saw the small segment of the game where we saw like hot mugs,
Mhm.
who then we realized that they were made of like, or made to be like into burgers, and it showed me that you really care about these little kids, and that segment of your demo showed me that you really care about being a child and having their childhood, which is very important in the game too. And what could you say about that to us?
It's a difficult question because you are probably right. You are probably. I mean, I think there are probably influences, but
Okay,
it's not actually clear to me always. Like
okay.
it doesn't work in the sense that I think, okay, this thing happened to me, so I'm gonna put it in the
Yeah, it's
game.
totally understandable. Yeah, of course, of course, of
It
course.
probably works more like I put something in the game because I think it's fun or it's
Okay,
interesting.
okay,
But then if I think about it, I think, oh yeah, this is probably influenced by something I did or something I.
okay.
But there are influences, I think. But it's very difficult for me to answer. Like, what are the examples of them? I think for hot mugs, for example, um, I made a game when I was really younger. I was like around like 2000 or 2002. This was for RPG Maker,
Okay,
and they had these characters that are hot mugs, and the idea was that they were sold in a restaurant, and they were kind of like food, but they wanted to escape from this restaurant and to be free.
okay.
And when I made this game, I thought, okay, it would be funny to make the same concept, but in a more serious way, in a more like what because that was like a comedy game that I made before, and I
I
wanted
see.
to see what would happen if I make it in a serious kind of scenario in an actual city. Um, but yeah, I think it's more about if you think about like I'm not a vegetarian, but sometimes I think maybe everyone should be because
I see.
if you think about whenever I see animals, suffering, I feel bad about it. But when I eat food, I don't think about it as animals. I think about it as foods. So I think it's a bit about that, like
I see.
the way the city doesn't care about what the burgers are made of. It's just about um, like there is this connection between the product as a burger, for example, and the actual ingredients that make this product, or the suffering that comes to build to create these products.
I see.
And I think that was the main thinking at the time that I built like wrote this scenario.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. And so yeah, we were talking about your game, but how did you like develop your game from start to this point of the demo? Like, what was the process behind this, and were there segments of your life when you wanted to give up or like take a break from making your game? Like, was it sometimes very difficult, and when you wanted to like, you know, end it, or just saying that okay, I'm done with it, or you never had that experience in your life?
I mean, of course, this is a game that it was a Kickstarter in
Okay,
2013, so
okay.
this is like already 11 years ago
Yeah,
or 10 years ago. So that's a very long time, and a lot of things had happened since then. I had moved to different places. The team has changed, and there were of course ups and downs.
I see.
For me, it was never that I never thought about giving up on it. It's more like there is some pressure that I feel on me that I have to release it, I have to finish it because people are waiting for
I
it,
see.
or people are asking me about it all the time. How's it going? When it's gonna be released? Um, so that's the thing that I kind of worry about sometimes. Like there are people who they paid money for this game and they had then children and they grew. Their children are now old enough to play the game. So that's the thing that I cannot do much about it because I'm trying my best to make this game,
I
but
see.
it's also I think at the end of the day I do want to release it. I don't want people to play it. I don't want to move on to other projects, for example. But I didn't really give up on it because it's actually very exciting to work on. It's very interesting. I always do different things, and I'm very blessed to have a great team. Like the people I work with, they're very great, and they always supporting me, and we just have fun doing it. So
That's
yeah,
that's what matters at the end of the day, I think, like developing a game. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a very weird game. So it's like one day you're doing something that's about I don't know about a city, but it also has dreams about Beatles or dreams about uh, about like cowboys and
Yeah.
Western movies.
All the
Uh,
influences put together in one game.
yeah, so if I'm tired of doing like Octopus City stuff, I can just do like a Western movie, or I can do like a different kind
I
of
see.
scenario. So yeah, I enjoy it.
And have you been influenced by you were telling me that you moved a lot of times and you changed team members too. Have you been influenced by those two segments of your life in the game, as for the game?
Yeah, I think so. Certainly, I think. So I originally come from Kuwait. It's a small country in the Middle
Okay.
East. I was born there. I lived there for like 30 years. Um, and now I live in the Netherlands in Europe.
Oh, okay.
And when I came to the Netherlands, I also visited a lot of like different countries in Europe, like I
I
visited a lot
see.
of different places.
I see.
And I really got influenced by, I really like cities, I really like the older cities of Europe, like the older mazes that you have, the kind of the darkness that you have sometimes. Like
Yeah,
it's a
true.
bit
I
like,
agree. I agree. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, especially because I also went to the United States once, and I didn't see that as much because there they have a lot of like, a lot of streets, a lot of cars, and they don't have
I
the
see what you're
same
saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
history that you have in a European city.
It's more
So
darker place. Yeah, and it's very interesting to hear you talking about that, because I believe like in that darkness has something nice in it. Like, you know, people always say that light brings hope for the people, but in my opinion, like, I know it will sound very weird, but like for me, I feel like when there is light, our
yeah.
creations are boxed, you know, because you see the angles of a room or something you are in with the light. But if there is dark, then you can be the light and you can light up the angles of that place, you know.
Mhm.
I know it sounds weird, but it makes probably more sense in the end of the day if you think about it.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I think it. And also, what I try to do is to make the light, like the darkness,
Acceptable?
um, not acceptable, but more like fun.
Oh, I see.
I think when we started the game, when we were talking about the art style and everything, we said we want to use like the older games they had, like the very old games for Amiga or like Commodore 64. They had very terrible colors because they had to use this colors that were like pink and green, and they made some really beautiful games using these simple colors. And I think if you play like Octo City Blues, you'll see a lot of purple, pink, green in these dark areas, and I think it really turns out nicely because you have the darkness, but you also have the fun, I think, or maybe the
I see.
I don't know, the way it mixes together, the light and the dark, and the way that you can.
Becomes more beautiful and like more like
Yeah, because I think
enjoyable.
it also translates to the story because you have these serious moments, you have these kind of dark kind of moments, but it's also it's a humorous game. It's kind of a funny game in a way, like the way that you interact with the world, the way that people talk about things. So I don't think like Octopus City is a bad place, but it is a bad place, but it's also a fun place. It's kind of a combination.
I see. I see.
And that's what you see in any city. Any city, you have dark place, you have some
Yeah, true.
issues, you have some problems, but at the same time, there is light in these places. There's
Yeah,
even
you just
good
have to,
people.
I guess, be open-minded about everything to see the fun part of life and even the dark places, I guess. In my opinion, at
Yeah,
least. Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So when designing Octopus, what was the idea behind, the tentacles and presented the drugs? Like, why are the citizens gaining drug from the tentacles? How that is coming along together? What was the idea behind it?
So originally there were no tentacles and there were no octopus, and it
Okay.
was just a city. And I was playing an adventure game called Beneath a Steel Sky. It's a very
Okay.
beautiful adventure game. Uh, it has nothing to do with tentacles, but they have one scene where they have a wall and there's a tentacle coming outside of the wall, and that's it. Like it's just
Oh,
a
okay.
scary place,
Okay.
and it's just like one tentacle, and it's coming out of the wall to scare you or to make the place look scarier. And for some reason, I was thinking, oh, this is really cool, like graphically, to have a tentacle, and if you can animate that, because I was thinking like how to make the world more dynamic, how to make it more animated.
I see.
And the nice thing about tentacles is they're very animated. They move and they kind of
Yeah.
like they're just visually interesting.
I see.
So it started from that. I thought, okay, this is okay. Now I have tentacles, and at the same time, I had a story about drugs. So it was like normal drugs.
I see.
And at some point, I thought, okay, I have tentacles, and you have drugs. Why can't they be the same? One of
Okay.
the
It
same thing, right?
sounds fun. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird how these ideas work. Like I think
No,
I
but it
had like
works in my
four.
opinion. It totally works. It's just, it's always good to see or good to hear the idea behind it.
Yeah. It wasn't intentional, but it just worked out. You add some small things together, and eventually you have the whole becomes bigger than the small parts that you added.
Do you think that there can be a planet where people, or at least citizens, gain drug from tentacles? Do you think?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's
Yeah,
people will get high on anything. I think
true, true.
there are people who get high of glue.
Exactly,
So like
true, true.
or like or like gasoline or something.
True
So why not
statement.
tentacles?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. And okay, so when I was playing through your demo, I felt like I was watching a Black Mirror episode. I'm not sure if you know Black Mirror series, TV series, but they are like
Yeah.
mirror reflection of our life and real issues of life. So, what was the idea behind making not the fun part of the game, but the real issues and showing it to the people through a game?
Um, yeah, the thing is, I don't want to answer this without giving too much away of the central story and the themes of the
Okay,
game.
yeah, it's understandable.
Um, but I think at the end of the day, um, I wanted to show like a very, like a very hypocritical place, like some place where
I
people
see,
say something and they do something else.
I see,
And I wanted to maybe highlight some of the things, like because it's an octopus city and it's a very corrupt city in different ways, and you have like corruption, you have people who don't care, you have um, it's like the last human city in the entire planet, and even when they're the last humans, they just act human, so they just act bad or good.
But they don't care about it, I guess.
I mean, some people care, but you'll
But
find
not
that
most.
good people don't win in a way,
I see. Do you
and the
think
game
that?
sometimes.
Sorry for interrupting you. Do you think that good people could win in the future, or anytime in soon or later in the future? Like, could
Oh,
justice?
definitely.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, I think people are good. I don't think people are bad. I'm not saying that.
Okay. Okay.
That reality is that people will be like Octo City.
I see.
But I think people are very complicated and they're very complex,
Yeah, I
and
agree. I agree.
sometimes even without realizing it, they do bad things. Sometimes just by existing, you are. I mean, even myself or you, we're doing some things in our lives that are making life harder for someone else, and we
Yeah.
don't know
True.
it.
True. True. Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I do hope that good people will win. I do hope that there is goodness in everyone. And yeah, I guess you'll have to play Octopus City the full version and see where that goes.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. And yeah, we were talking about also the graphics and the art style. When designing the art style, what's was also like influencing your art when you decided to make such colorful game, but still like having these two things like the dark and the light put together, the fun and the dark places put together. What other things have influenced? Because you told like 3 or 4 things, but were there any other things that influenced this art style of your game?
Of course, I have to give all the credits to my team members. So
Okay.
I'm working with Marina. She does the almost all the art, all the pixel art for the game,
I
and
see.
she has a very unique and very wonderful style. And I think she deserves like almost all the credit for the style. Like it's just her style. I mean, I did pick her for the style. I did see her art, and I did see
I
like
see.
you know, it was a great fit for what I wanted to do. But she is like yeah, she's basically the art, and she also does a lot of the designs and a lot of the ideas.
I see.
And there's also Carl, who's the concept artist, who made a lot of great concepts for the characters. All these, for example, when you fight this guy in the centipede station, if you remember, I think he did the
Yeah.
concept art for all these characters and how they animated and he has a great like
Character building.
imagination,
I see.
character building,
Yeah.
imagination, mixing different things together, and he's very inspiring to me, like the art that he creates.
I see.
So yeah, for me, I just wanted something that was. I think the first thing I wanted was to have the colors of an old game, like an Amiga game, for example. So to use pink and green and blue in these interesting ways.
I see.
And we also had some influences from like cyberpunk games,
Oh,
like
okay.
some movies, stuff like that.
I see.
But I think also for every artist that works on the game has their own, inspirations. So, for example, Marina, the artist, she told me she's inspired by. So there's a Spanish artist called Gaudi who does like these really wonderful buildings. He's like a what do you call it? An architect who builds these wonderful, beautiful buildings in
Okay.
Barcelona.
Okay.
So she's inspired by that, but she also by the games she used to play, like Terra Enigma is one of these games,
Oh, nice.
and Simon the Sorcerer is an adventure game.
Nice. Nice.
I haven't played Simon the Sorcerer, but she always talks about it. She's like a huge fan of it.
There will be a
Uh,
sequel to it, if I'm correct, also this year. Yeah.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm very grateful to having such great colleagues who bring their own inspiration.
I
So
see.
I think I'm a developer. I do the writing, but I'm also not the. I just do this very small part of the game, and then there are people who do like the art, the design, the locations. Sometimes I do very simple art, and then Marina, the artist, will take it and she will just transform it into something really beautiful. Like, or she will even change the idea. Like I think I had some idea for there is this playground in the city. Maybe you went there. There's like a huge fly, huge insect
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
playground
yeah,
area.
yeah, yeah. On the right side of the map. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, I did a concept for it first, and my concept had like there was no insect, there was no flies, and there
I
was
see.
just some toys, and they looked like dinosaurs, but it was very boring. And then she did the design, and she just added the fly for no reason. And it fits with the story because we have like centipede trains, we have like
Yeah,
spiders,
true,
we have all
true,
these
true.
different things.
It felt for me when
So
I was playing like it was the symbol of freedom, that right side of the map, you know, with all those
yeah,
people out there who are not controlled by media or by police or other, you know,
mhm.
citizens of life. Yeah,
Yeah, we try to make it a bit darker.
I
So you
see.
go through the sewers, and you have the difference between the sewers and the normal city, so to speak. Yeah.
I see. Okay, and there is a segment in the game, or at least at the demo of the game, where we saw that there is a insect train which eats people, if I'm correct, on a monthly base. Like, what was the idea behind that? Like, why? Or what's the reflection to our real life, you know, issues or problems to that? Could you tell us a bit more about
I
that?
don't I don't think there's a reflection. I
Oh,
think
it's just fun.
it's just funny.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, so um, there is a book I read once before making this game, and it's called City of Saints and Madmen.
Okay,
City of Saints and Madmen by Jeff Vandermeer.
okay.
And it's a very weird book. It's about a city, and they're like mushroom people, and there are like giant squids, and there are like all these different ideas and insects. So, and also you have like stories like the Metamorphosis with Kafka, where someone turns into I think a cockroach or something.
I see.
I don't know. I think insects are very interesting. So when we wanted to have a train in the city, it kind of makes sense. Okay, what's that train? It's a centipede, and people go inside it. And as why it eats them, I think it's a creature, it's an animal, so it has to eat something.
I see.
And it's also a good like reference about the city. So they don't care if people get eaten. It's cheaper, it's faster.
I see. I see. I see. I see.
Um, but yeah, a lot of things are just fun. Like it's just visually interesting. Like to make a centipede train.
Okay,
It looks cool. Yeah.
I see. Okay, and who is our main hero? Like let's hear something about him. Like what is his goal in his life? Because as I was saying before to you in our Discord talk, and letting you know now as well, that I feel like it's coming along with an inspiration of being a bit of you, like having all those, you know, influences from your life. Is it really you,
Um,
or you wouldn't say that for 100%, but yes and no.
as I grow older, I become more like him. It's funny because when I started on the game, I imagined him as an older person. Like I wanted to make a game about
Okay,
an older person because a lot of games are about really young people, and I think it was more about making someone who's really a coward, like someone who just is always afraid and always like. I guess yeah, he's a bit like me. I'm a bit of a shy person. I'm a bit of a private person, so he's like that.
I see.
But it's also very
But he's really trying to make his life happen and succeed in his life, and he's very creative and trying to set up things in his own way, I think. And that's true for you as well, that you're creative and trying to, you know, be there for everyone and give to the people. And I think that the reflection goes to the main character, the protagonist of the game as well, in my opinion, at least, of course.
yeah. I don't know. I don't really think about it much. I think it's more like so on one hand you have to give the player freedom. So
I
I
see.
wanted the character that makes it easy for players to do something. You can do some evil things in the game. Not like you can hurt the Beatles. You can help the Beatles. Uh, you, you can hurt people or not or
I
help
see.
them. So you want a character who's a bit ambiguous in a sense, like Um, so he's a cowardly person, but he also has a kind of a mean personality sometimes. Like he can be mean, he can be nice, he can be helpful, he can be nice with the
I
tentacles.
see.
Um, so yeah, I want to make a character that's he's not a blank slate. He's not like completely up to you. He's not you. But I wanted you to feel like a little. Maybe you feel bad for him, or you feel like, uh, or you feel that he's funny, or you relate to him in some way.
I see.
And also, I would say that it's not only my character because a lot of the ideas come from the artists as well. For
I
example,
see.
the way they draw the character in certain scenes, they have a different impact on how the character is perceived.
I
Like I
see.
think, for example, there's this part where you step on a tentacle. You kind of like it's like a small cutscene that you step on the tentacle and the tentacle dies. Sorry, you step on a beetle. You step like
Yeah.
on an insect in the plaza. And when I thought about this idea, I told it to the artist. I didn't think that he would be smiling, like a big idiot and just smiling and like enjoying it. But she did it that way, and I thought it was funny as well. It's a good. Uh, it's like a childish thing to do.
I see. I see. So that was
Um,
when you were saying before that like all human personalities are mixed from all their influences together, and that's why I guess he has this all kinds of part of his life.
yeah, maybe. To be honest, I don't really design it in with all this thinking. I'm not that smart. Maybe it's more like what would be fun to do. What would Caf say? You get to know this character. You get to know what they like, what they don't like, and they try to kind of build an interesting character out of it. So if you get something out of it, I'm really happy that you can analyze it. But I don't really analyze him that much. It's more like, oh, this is Caf. He's interesting. He's weird. He's
Okay.
he's sad. He's a bit sad. Um, but I think most importantly for me was first of all that he's older.
I see.
I think that's important. And second of all, that he's really, really afraid to do things and stressful.
I see.
And that ties with the systems in the game because there's a stress system where the game manages your stress and you manage your anxiety.
I see.
Uh, and I didn't want a character that can just use a gun. So he's too good. He's too afraid to use a gun, for example.
I see.
So you have to think of different way to do things. You cannot just kill someone with a gun. You have to do maybe something else if you want to kill someone or not kill them. You have to think of how do I get this cowardly person to do things? How do I overcome stress? How do I make it easier? And then you also have to do things like take care of your health. So in the game, for example, if you eat a lot of burgers or you do a lot of bad things in the game, you always stay up after midnight. Your health gets worse, and then you start having like heart attacks.
I
There's all
see.
these weird systems in the game that are about your age, and it's like warning you, don't do these things because you're too old to do them. You're too fragile. I think part of it is funny, but part of it is um, it's not something that you will see with a game where you have a protagonist who's 16 years old, for example, because
I see.
they will not. You do, yeah, and that's why I said as I grow older, I relate more to him because as you grow older, you start to have your back starts hurting, or
Yeah, and question
you,
your decisions and what to do and what's not to do, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. So it's anyway. I know it's not a great answer, but it's just all these
No,
different
it was
elements
a great answer
come
in my
together.
opinion. Yeah, and it makes me questioning one more thing. Like you told us that, and you told me in our private talk that you feel that you're shy a bit. Have you or did you open up during the process of making your game? Like, do you feel that you could open up more to people and also to yourself by making a game?
Yeah, I think if you go to events and to like places where people play the game, you have to interact with them. You have to kind of share. Uh, you have to share part of yourself
I see. I
and to
see.
kind of make them care about the game.
I see.
Um, but I think in the end of the day, there are different kinds of people. Some people are introverted, some people are extroverted,
Yeah.
and
True. 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 True.
I think it's fine to be shy or to be
No,
outgoing.
I
It's not your
totally agree with you.
personality.
I totally agree with you. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yes, game development does force you um, to engage more with your audience
Was
and
it
to kind of
stressful for you, or did you take it in a good way, like, or both?
no, it's not stressful. I would say it's a bit. It can be exhausting
I see.
if you talk to a lot of people,
I see.
but it's always exciting to watch someone smile at a joke you wrote or
Yeah.
get excited about something that you did, and it gives you a lot of energy as well. Just watching people enjoying it, and especially when I watch I watch people who never played a game before, or like played very little games, or just played mobile games before, and they
I
play
see.
this game, and it's not made for them because it's made for, in my opinion, it was more made for people who play these games. People like you maybe who have some experience with them. But then you give it to a child or give it to someone who didn't play games before, and they like it because the writing or the art or something.
Yeah.
And that's always like a very nice feeling to see. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, this is it got someone interested into that kind of genre or that kind of type of games. Like I think someone told me they never played a game that had a story before. They didn't even know that games can have stories.
Oh, okay.
Which to me is kind of ridiculous. Like, of course, games can have
Yeah. True.
stories,
True. True. Yeah.
but there are people who think like that. So there are people who don't even know that games can be like that. They think games are mobile games of a certain kind, or they're like a certain, you know, uh, the games that they played as children, or sports games, but they don't see that there's even more. Um, there's much more that you can do with games. It's a very huge medium, and I hope that maybe these people, if they play my game, they will be opened up to other similar games and other similar, like to explore more of this adventure games, for example, or RPGs or other games that have more focus on story.
I see. I see. And by talking about this, do you think like uh, games like yours can be used for education in schools? Like, because your game has not only have a lot of fun elements, like we were talking about it before, but a lot of teachings as well, in my opinion. So do you think like games could be educated in schools for people in a lot of ways, for example?
I think games can be. I don't think my game should be, but I
Okay.
think games can be.
But why? Why think you it shouldn't be your game?
Um, I don't know. I think it's.
I mean, just I'm just asking you because I don't agree with you right now. So I think that your game would be perfect for education because it has a lot of like I said, elements from our life, and
Yeah.
so for me, like I'm always saying that, like for me, my all-time favorite game is Final Fantasy X, and it has a lot of reflection to our real life issues as well, just yeah, like your game has. So
Mhm.
I think that these games could be very educational in schools or in at
Yeah.
universities, colleges. So yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, it's more about. Um, I didn't design it to be educational.
Okay.
I didn't
But
think
it
about it
still
that
is.
way.
So I mean, that's the art form, or making games in an artistic way.
I mean, yeah, of course, any creative endeavor, any art or book or whatever music that anything that you produce or create, it can be interpreted and read by people in different ways, and it can be useful. And there is always a message or a story or some learning that you get out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I
Um,
also think is that, in my opinion, there is always a message that wants to be given by the creator of it. I believe in that. Like there is, like I was saying to you earlier, that I don't think that there was ever being made a book or a game that has not given a straight and right message from the creator of it. Like it's always like we were taught in school that all these poems and books have a message that we have to solve and to see with our soul, and with our heart. And I think that that reflects to your game as well, that I think that even you did not want it to deliver a very straight message through your game, you still did that. And I think that those who can reflect to you will probably understand the message of your game and your stories that you would like to tell. That's at least my opinion is.
I do agree, yeah, that yeah, of course, any kind of art or any kind of thing that you produce or create has a message. Well, you can get a message out of it. Maybe it's not the same message as the author, but
Yeah, true.
there are always interpretations, and there are always ways that you can connect your, like maybe someone, like I'm in the Netherlands, but maybe someone in Japan or someone in Africa or someone in South America, they play the game and they get a very different message because of the way that they grew up, or whatever is going on in their life right now. But that's not for me to say. I think of course I have some ideas. I have some. I don't go to make. I don't set out to make a message. I don't go. I don't design things to say I want to put a message in the game, because I feel if you do that, it might become a bit too forced. It becomes a bit.
Okay.
It's like I want to make a message that you should not smoke, you should not use drugs or something. Then I make a game about that.
You're rather saying that exists and think about it if it's right or not, I'm guessing, right? That's your point.
I don't even think about that. I think it's more like it's a very difficult question. Yeah, it's like,
yeah, because like I'm saying, it's there, so you can. I mean, at least I think that it's not that you can say, but we can think that it's there, but not on a purpose, because in my opinion, everything is there on a purpose or with a purpose.
Yeah. So I think to make it shorter, there is a message and there are some ideas that I thought about in the beginning.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that I don't think about them all the time.
I see.
Sometimes I don't really think of. Like sometimes it's just you do whatever is fun, whatever is interesting.
I see.
And sometimes
it's an ever-changing process. Like
and sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or it kind of over time it starts like adding up, or it starts like appearing even without you realizing it. Like the same thing with what we were saying about childhood, or like influences. It's like I don't always realize that I'm adding an influence. I don't always realize that I'm adding a message. But sometimes when you play it afterwards or you see it afterwards, you say, oh yeah, this has a message, or this is.
I see.
This is a good example of the message of the game, or this is a good. But it's something that's in the subconscious, something that's in your mind, but it's not always on the front. It's not always
when you need it or you want it to be. Yeah, I see. It's like a growing process within the game, and when you release it after it too, I guess.
Yeah, so I would be really flattered if someone thought it would be a good thing to use in schools, but I don't think it's that.
It totally is. Like I had a lot of segments seen in the game that totally be understandable to use in school, like I said before.
Yeah, I would worry though, because it's a very disgusting game sometimes. It's very scary game.
In my opinion, sometimes you have to show the exact same reflection of the problems that we have, like if you just say, okay, don't do drugs, that won't work. If you show that people are hurting themselves because of drugs, kill each other because of drugs, and you see blood, you see all those bodies, I think that what will be saved in our mind and in our eyes, and we will start to be thinking about those segments in our life, and okay, is it good, is it not good, what should we do about that? And that in my opinion works. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. Whenever you consume some of the media, you are influenced in different ways.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if people will be thinking differently about things, but I want them in the end to have fun and to think it's interesting.
I see.
But I don't really pass judgment that much. Like I told you, like I don't think the city is bad or good. I don't think.
Yeah, I see. It's somewhere in between.
Yeah, I don't think, for example, that drugs in Octopus City is a bad thing. I think it's more about the system that creates them, the government of the city and the drug dealers and
it drives the whole system and city that is built upon this, I guess.
Yeah, I think one of the influences was So there's a series called The Wire from HBO,
Okay.
and it's about drugs, and it's about the city, and it's about. And I think the main theme, the main message of it, if there was one, is about the systems, like the systems that we live in, like
Okay.
where you are born and where you live, and what kind of rules are set on you by your school or by your city or by your police or whatever, or if you're born in a place where they do drugs, for example, then you have certain rules in your life that you will grow up probably to be a drug dealer yourself.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you on that because like we cannot judge those people because they have been born to these situations and they realize that that's is the best for them, or they might could see a way out, but they are not having options to get out of there, and that's what I think the real problem is that should be support to these people, and also I'm saying that there is no like very good situation in life, like you stated before, that everyone has his own problems and shady and dark stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, yeah. Okay, last question to close our interview. What is the
All right.
release date of your game? or what are your plans for to release the game? At what year? What day? What month?
Yeah, so it was supposed to be released this month actually,
Okay,
but I posted recently an update a few days ago actually that we're gonna delay it. I'm not sure what's the new release date, and
okay,
the reason for that is multiple things. First of all, we've been doing a lot of playtesting, a lot of like getting people to play the game,
I see.
and every time we do that, we get a lot of feedback, and this feedback, if you have a plan, if you say I want to do this and this and that and that, and then you do this testing, and then you get a lot of different feedback, it takes a lot of time to apply this feedback. So that's one thing that is taking like a lot of time,
I see.
because I'm the only developer, and I'm the writer, and I'm the designer, and there's only one artist, like one main artist, and there's of course the composers, and there's some other people.
I see.
So yeah, it takes a lot of time to test things, to try things, and the game has a lot of different story branches. Like everything you do, there's like multiple ways to do it. So like what you've seen when you played the game, if you play it differently, you will see very different scenes. You will see
Yeah,
very different outcomes of the
and
game.
it takes time to make all those scenes. Yeah,
Uh, Not only to make them, but to test them
to
is the
test them
difficult
as
thing
well. Yeah,
because
yeah. To work
it's
properly.
very because you can be in very different states. So
I see.
I have to test this one. What happens if you do this thing? What happens if you do that other thing?
I see.
But anyway, to go back to your question, we're doing our best. We're really trying hard to finish it this year.
Okay.
But at the same time, I want to make something that's good. So
Yeah, that's
I'm
totally
not
understandable as well.
I'm not worrying too much about it. I
Yeah,
just keep doing our best, keep finishing things one thing at a time.
I see.
And it would be really nice if we can have it this year. I think it would be great. But anyway, I think it's soon because we're already like halfway through the year. So if it's not this year, it will be like the beginning of next year,
I
which
see.
is still also not too far away.
I see. And are you thinking of like after the release? Are you thinking of like take a break, or are you thinking like you have any other plans to make a new game or a sequel, or what are your plans for the future?
Well, a
Or it's
break
hard
would
to
be
say.
very. Yeah, I would love to have a break, take a break.
Okay.
But at the same time, I think a lot of things will begin once you release it. So maybe I'll take some time off, but
I see.
we still have to think about, because it was a Kickstarter game, so
I
we
see.
have to deliver some Kickstarter rewards. Like
I
there are
see.
different things that people can get.
Is it true that people can have a date with you? I know it's a joke and a true question as well, but
So when we did the Kickstarter, I was in Kuwait, living in Kuwait,
okay.
and the joke was usually when Kickstarter, when you do like the $1 or whatever,
I see.
you get like a thank you note, and when you do like $1,000 or something, you get like an interview with the developer or something.
I see.
So when I did it, like I put it in the opposite way. I put like the first reward
I
at
see.
$1, you can play Monopoly with me. Like we can go outside and play Monopoly.
Yeah.
And I put like the $1,000 was not a, yeah, I think it was 1,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
that you can have a very nice email, thank you email or something like that. And someone
But
did get that, by the way.
It worked. It worked because
So,
some people pledged it. Yeah. True.
but no one actually did the interview thing because I was living in Kuwait and it said in the thing, yeah, it's $1, but you have to pay for all the travel expenses and all the other things.
So I guess I was lucky to have here you with me doing the interview. I mean, not in Kuwait, but still online.
Yeah, you're doing it for free. Yeah, not even paying $1.
Free of charge. That's the dark part of our life, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm very thankful for your time and like I said, that you have accepted this request of mine for this interview. We learned a lot today, and I cannot wait for your game to be released. I'm pretty sure that we will play it, and I will stream it and also make a review out of it. I'm very honored for being able to speak with you today. And yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And thanks everyone who were watching us. And make sure you wishlist the game on PC, on Steam, Octopus City Blues. Make sure you follow the official Twitter account. And if you will have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I will let you know, guys, about it. And yeah, thank you again. Thank you, guys and girls, everyone who were on the stream. Thank you, and